Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Client Side Chats. As always, we have excellent special guests, and certainly today's special guest, Tara Sweeney, who is the marketing director for WCIS Mag. Hi, Tara. How are you doing?
Hi, James. It's good to see you.
Yeah, as always. I mean, I know some people who follow us realize that I've been on your magazine show a couple of times, and thank you very much. I've definitely enjoyed it. It's a very good production, and I know it does a great job in getting the food safety, occupational safety, those kinds of things out to your customers. So, Tara, tell us a little bit about what the magazine is, what you do, that kind of thing. And then we'll start talking about safety success.
Thank you for that introduction, James. So, I am the marketing director, like you said, for West Coast Industrial Solutions Magazine. We're currently working on rebranding to Planting to Processing Magazine, and we're a quarterly trade issue, and we focus on safety and compliance issues in agribusiness. So, that's agriculture, manufacturing, food processing, and food and beverage industries.
Definitely. I know that's a lot of food safety things. There's a lot of stuff with regard to the whole process, from the ground all the way through to the consumer. And of course, all the other things that come along with it.
We noticed that a lot of agribusiness had overlap as far as operational and safety requirements and regulations. And we wanted to be able to make it more accessible to everybody, not just the operations manager or the safety manager, and to be able to make it so that even on a cultural level, companies can fully understand what it means to be safe and compliant for regulations and just innovations in the industries that we were seeing.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So, and I know you've done a good service with this. I know you've had to pivot because of the COVID situation. We were talking about that offline, like everybody else. But I tell you what, I know we were talking a little bit, and you have a lot of success here. What would you say is a good safety success to share with our audience with what you are doing and the results that you're seeing from that?
So we used to do 20 trade shows annually. And so we used to be able to do one-on-one contact with everybody at the trade show booth and all the professionals that were making decisions as far as safety and compliance in these industries. And I think pivoting like we had to start the show, the online show, Food and Facilities, little plug there. Um, we had to start that in order to be able to have the same interaction with our readership, because a lot of the times you need direct contact with the professionals, be able to build that rapport so that they know that you're looking out for their best interests.
Are you seeing that a lot of the participants who you used to see one on one, I mean, 20 shows, that's an awful lot. That's a very busy schedule. And I know the industry is relying upon this communication piece as a way of staying abreast of what's happening and also getting some better safe practices. Are you seeing a lot of people continuing to do that now in a virtual space?
Yes, I think making it virtual is making it more accessible to everybody. Um, we had updates to labeling compliance for food manufacturers. The update for that is going to go into effect this upcoming January for any food producer that makes under 10 million in net product. And then we're also covering changes in FSMA, and we're trying to update that because it's changing for a lot of requirements, and we need to make sure that everybody knows what's expected of them, especially during a pandemic when not everybody has access to safe food.
Yeah, that's actually some of the content of some of your regular Saturday magazine shows that you have for 30 minutes. And just for the audience, this is accessible. And, what we can do is at the end of this is get some information from you to post up so that our viewership can also see what you're focusing on. I know that has been a concern since the pandemic began, is the access to safe food. With regard to that, are you seeing a lot of success where people, you made mention of the fact that a lot of people are more accessible or becoming more accessible this way with regard to gaining that information? You finding that to be successful for them in getting things implemented and giving you feedback with that?
A lot of the contributors are excited because they know that there's greater awareness for these issues. And then they get direct contact with people at our virtual trade shows that we're attending, and then also for the show. And they're finding it's super helpful because they can actually make that contact, share their information, and be able to get in contact with their target market that much more easily, because the target market's it's more of an inbound than an outbound.
Ah, okay. So yeah, that's fascinating actually. That's pretty good. And certainly that makes a difference for their companies to be able to participate in the marketplace. Again, because they have to have all the safety stuff into place in order to be able to do this. Otherwise, they end up with that bad reputation and you end up with recalls and things like that that nobody wants to see because that can be devastating on the business. Other things that you can see from an occupational safety standpoint, I know you and I have been working together on an article or two that has been published, and I know I've talked about those things about recovering out of the COVID pandemic and how to make sure we move forward being safe. But with that regard, are you also seeing more and more of your members applying this kind of thing to their processes?
I know a lot of them are focusing on the financial struggles that they're having right now because of the changes in operation and the changes in accessibility. A lot of the food producers, however, are having the opposite issue where they don't have enough people because the demand has increased so much. And a lot of the issues is that they need to change the way their operations are in order to protect their workforce and be able to make sure that they're safe and healthy so that they can be as productive as possible.
Yeah, and I know they're coming to you as an avenue of communication as to how to do that. Are you getting any feedback from people telling you that, hey, you know what, we've applied some of these items and some of this criteria that you've published out there, and it's been successful?
I feel that we need to explain to the readership why they need to do it a little more, because not only are they needing to change the operations, and it's hard to focus on that when you're looking at your bottom line right now, but little do they understand is that their bottom line is requiring these operational changes because in the long run, it's going to increase and improve their viability as a business.
Ah, good points. I think that's very good point, and that's something that is a lesson to be learned for a lot of people in industry as well as safety professionals, because that really does make a difference. So good to hear that, and I know you well enough, at least having worked with you in doing some editing, that you definitely are very good about being able to pull that out to get more detail, so they really get the understanding. It's almost like doing the sales aspect of getting the safety process in place.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that I'm a marketing background, and so I can try to make it a little more accessible and understandable to laymen, but then also make it easier to digest for people that are in the field and they know the jargon and everything.
Yeah, that's great. I know this is a great service from the standpoint of being able to provide the safety information. And I know I have seen some people exclaim their betterment. I was going to say success, but I don't think they're quite to that level yet. I think maybe some of the members are getting there, but certainly, it's certainly a betterment that I'm realizing from them. So, anything else you'd like to share with us with regard to success?
Just try to support your local community as much as you can. We have a lot of local manufacturers that are creating PPE or hand sanitizer. And if you buy locally, you're keeping your money local, and then you're also supporting businesses and keeping them afloat.
Well said. Well said. Well, thank you, Tara. Thank you for being on Client Side Chats today. Look forward to working with you forward in your show and inviting you back to Client Side Chats as well. So, where we can say how we're being successful coming out of the pandemic. So, that'd be nice.
Likewise, James, and I look forward to talking with you again.